and I'm a great fan of Tom Johnson. I notice he's not in the 19-man England squad. I'm not sure whether that's because he's injured or just not selected, but I'm slightly surprised by that. Although, there are plenty of good wingers in the game at the moment, and Josh Charnley, who's leading the try-scoring charts, wasn't even in the 40-man squad. But I also liked a couple of St Helens tries against Warrington, actually. The Benison try was absolutely magical, I thought. Brilliant pass by Johnny Lomax, and an absolutely brilliant dummy sold to Matt Duffy to score.
Yeah,
and then the T. Ritson try. I think one of the players of the season is potentially T. Ritson. I know he's not played many games yet for St Helens, but I was impressed with him in Australia when he scored a try against St George, and his try against you was of a similar quality, I think, and he's going to be a real good signing for St Helens. I'm really pleased to see them signing a kid out of the Championship and him clearly being so keen to do well for them.
We were saying last week, weren't we, Dave, that we need more clubs from the Super League to have a look in the Championship.
Well, look at James Harrison
going to Australia.
James Harrison for Warrington, Tyler Dupree for Salford. Yeah. Dupree was at Widnes, and he's had an interesting.
Look at Danny Walker for Warrington as well.
So there's a few there that have really. But anyway, here's the squad. I mean, Martyn literally come on 2 minutes before we started. So who'd have thought he could do a link like that? There you go. He's an absolute pro, isn't he? There you go. So this is the squad that is there. A lot pulled out. Very disappointing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Disappointed Lewis Dodd pulled out. I hope that's an injury. That Dodd got pulled out.
I think he took a knock.
7 of the 8 St Helens players pulled out, so they weren't a case of they weren't picked; they were pulled out.
Absolutely,
which is interesting. And Sean Wayne's one of them where, if that isn't for genuine reasons, it will be noted. Knowing Sean Wayne, but really, as you look at this squad, for me, it's made it interesting because. A traditional English side against the French. I mean, don't get me wrong, the French team is getting better every single year because of the Catalan-Toulouse connection. But you would expect a fully fit and experienced England team to go and do France. Not necessarily in this game. They could actually lose this game, depending on how the kids do. But what a real insight to the future that is. I mean, Holroyd's been outstanding this season. Dupree's been outstanding. Good to see Mikey Lewis in there. We expect big things from Nicholson at Warrington. So there's some really interesting picks in there that I think is going to make this a real spectacle on Saturday, and one that's going to have us intrigued. Greg, what's your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, was Jordan Abdul in the original?
He was in the 40-man.
Injured. I think he was in. Is he pulled out for injury? I think.
Is he injury? I'm surprised he's not there if he's not injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good look towards how a future England team might look.
Yeah.
Interesting to see who will play on the wing. I think Wellesby will be fullback, and I think Smith and Williams will be the halfback partnership.
Smith and absolutely. Smith and George Williams. Centres are probably going to be Wardle and Toby King.
Toby King's signed for Wigan, hasn't he? So he'll be in there. Yeah. If he's still been at Warrington, he would have got a sniff in.
I would imagine Josh Hewlett would probably be on the right wing, wouldn't he? Because there doesn't seem to be a massive number of backs there, so they're probably
Handley and Ashton. I think it'll probably be Ashton and Handley.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Ashton, I think Ashton normally plays on the left wing, doesn't he? I think so, or does he? As far as I'm aware, but I think Thewlis could be the guy who gets that right wing spot. But we'll see. But as you say, the interesting thing is that with it being a fairly young, what you might call an experimental England squad, I think that makes it a better game, as you've already said. And I don't know what we've not seen the final French squad, I don't think yet,
not yet.
as I'm aware. But they are getting more competitive, and I think they could give us a decent game. I don't think they'll beat us, but I think they are. I'd love to see it as a sort of no more than a 10-point game.
Yeah, let's hope it's competitive. Exactly. I agree. It'd be lovely to see it be a real competitive game.
Does this mean that Litton and Walker would be the hookers?
I think Danny Walker starts, and actually, like
Danny Walker does, yeah.
And like for Warrington, mate, I think Danny Walker's rapidly becoming. Well, I think he's I think he's moved ahead of Clark now at Warrington, and that's going to be interesting with the Clark contract.
Yeah.
Because Clarkie's money, I don't think he's going to get as much as he's on now.
Well, strong rumours he's already been. He's looking
Saints.
at the year deal with Saints.
Yeah, and that wouldn't surprise me, mate, because I think Walker now is probably seen as the starting hooker for Warrington, and they're not going to throw. I don't think they'll throw money at Clark to stay. I think they'll look for other options, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I want to say that.
Yeah, interesting one with Ben Curry as well. Ben Curry's had a few good games this season, but last two has kind of,
the last 2 seasons.
He's what? Sorry,
Ben Curry hasn't shone over the last 2 seasons.
No.
The injury.
He's come back a bit, I think, this year.
Yeah, his knee injury has set him back a lot more than people will admit.
But it's interesting to look at that those 19 players and bear in mind that only one of them will be completely excluded from the game. One of them will presumably be the 18th man, which we now play. Normally doesn't get a run, but 17 of those 19 will actually be taking the field. So it's difficult to predict precisely who's not going to be. But I think he might not go with Tyler Dupree personally. I'd have thought Havard would probably get him before Dupree, at least on the bench.
I think Havard definitely. Yeah,
Sorry?
Yeah, I think Havard definitely plays for Wigan easy.
Yeah, well, not just because.
No, I'm only joking.
You've got to say that Wigan, to be, let's not knock Wigan. They do support the international game, and that's all credit to them. Their players, by and large, haven't pulled out, as is the case with Warrington, of course. And St Helens, we don't know why St Helens have.
Well, they're coming in for some pelters, Martin. They're coming in for some pelters. A couple of the fans forum. Dawn Baker is a Wigan fan. She's not convinced all 7 were injured. Alex Sharp also coming in. He's not convinced. And well, like I say, it is what it is. This is the team that we've got. I personally would love to see Dupree given a shot.
Oh,
I think
so would
he
I.
deserves it the way he's played. I think he's
I think Matty Nicholson might be the one to miss out, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it could be.
I think he might be the one to miss out, Matty Nicholson.
But we'll find out on Saturday.
We will find out on Saturday. Right.